Hey, listen, academic video today. Academics. So one thing I think has been interesting, I've been focusing on in the past couple of weeks is academics and how to navigate that. So I think in the last 2 semesters of my college experience in Pitt, it was more so okay. The first semester was pretty easy. The classes were like introductory programming or intermediate programming, which was basically introductory programming. English class, I did the IAB, so I was covered. And the rest of them were just like neither here nor there. I think the only one that was actually like mildly difficult was Calc 1. I think I don't know if it was Calc 1 or something else. And then from there, stepped up like stuff like Intro to Matrices and Linear Algebra and Discrete Structures. Like those were like the 2 hard classes, and then yeah, those were like the 2 hard classes. Basics and algorithms was pretty mild to be honest, but now it's getting harder and harder. So I think what I've been trying to do is seeing how I can just use the same strategies I've been using the past 2 semesters, because last semester those strategies nearly failed me. I got a C plus, I think, in my intro to matrices and linear algebra class. Cause I wasn't actively studying for that class. It was more so I would study in bulk. So I studied like I had like 4 major sessions in between the semester, and like I did a bunch of study sessions like near the final exam, and that was like the worst way to study. So I don't want to repeat that same mistake, especially as the classes are getting harder. So I think what I have to do now is more so treat studying as another part of my overall system. Like right now, my system is usually I wake up, I take a shower, brush my teeth and all that, and then ideally I'll do like my Bible study. From there, I'll go to class, get my tasks done, or write my task list, and then from there it's a bit more flexible. I come back, I make a video, and then I post the video, post the Instagram post alongside the video, and that's like the um, those are like the consistent elements of my system, right? And then over the summer, there's different elements like I'll study for maybe neat code, or I would work on a project, right? But I don't think I've ever actually properly incorporated studying into that system. I've wanted to for a while, but I never did. I think that's something that's going to become much more essential going forward. I think it's hard because like studying is like a very vague word. It's like, okay, how do you actually study? You can't just open a book and then just look at the book for long and long. Like if it was like escapist where you just kept on reading and reading, and then it's like the knowledge got to you, that would be nice. But that's not the case. Like you can study for sometimes like 5 hours, and if you don't do it properly, then it's going to be a waste of 5 hours, I guess. So I think it's really trying to figure out how to do that. What I'm finding works the best for me, especially now with math. At least I can't speak for CS right now, computer science, but with my Calc 2 class, I think just going over the same problems over and over again gives me a better idea of it, like how it fundamentally works, because I start to understand the pattern. And it does seem kind of counterintuitive is the right word. It's just the same problems over and over again. But I think having that come for at least those problems at least, right? Like okay, I understand like the I can like fully deconstruct it and reconstruct it again, like the problems. It then allows me to say, okay, I can go to a similar problem and understand the logic. Because once I do, what usually happens when I do like, okay, I have this problem, then I have a new problem, I have a new problem. This problem could be like, okay, I get the idea, and then this problem is a new thing that introduces a new idea, and I'm already unfamiliar with this one, so I get lost in this one, and it just becomes a whole mess. But once I have like the core ideas down, I can like branch out. But what I also found is that for like my Calc 2 class now, we have quizzes every Tuesday, and it takes me today was about like 3 hours of studying, right? So 3 hours of studying to get fully comfortable with the material. I don't think I did that one time, the question because of timing, but 3 hours of time. So I think what I can do, if it's 3 hours, ideally I could break that up into like 1 hour sessions, because 3 hours was me skipping a class to just study for that, right? Um, so what I want to do is do 1 hour sessions like maybe every day. But my fear with that is that the 3 hours was compounded. So like it was just 3 hours straight. It wasn't anything else. So I don't know if I can able to like lock and get to that flow state where stuff makes sense after 1 hour. So that's something I have to probably experiment with more of this week. There's also some chatter here about making a math study group where we actually like, study together. So maybe that could be helpful. With CS, yesterday I was talking about how it's going to be the same thing with leak code, and the same like leak the stuff I need to practice for leak code is also the same stuff I should also be practicing for my data structures and algorithms 2 class. The issue though is like, well, it's not even necessarily an issue, but my preferred language is Python. The class is in Java, and so for we have actually done anything algorithm related, it's much more, I guess, with functions and methods, same, well, the same thing. Um, yeah, so that's like there's some friction there, but the overall ideas still stay the same. So I do think it's like just figure out how to incorporate that because I actually don't know how to study properly for NEET code. Because when I study, it's like two problems take like 2 hours, right? And it's like it's not ideal. I hate how difficult it seems because even though I enjoy like when I'm doing this, like okay, dang, I've gone through two problems or maybe like one problem, and that's like an hour, right? And it's like okay, what do I do? Because like this is near the nighttime I'm usually doing this. So I have like other stuff I have to get done, like homework, studying for something else, working on a project. So I'm trying to figure out how can I properly implement it where it actually makes sense for it to be a daily theme, but also not just throw off my whole schedule because there's obviously stuff I owe people, like or not owe people, but owe like homework and all that. And that's something I still haven't found the answer to. Like with when I was doing it over the summer, it was something where I was like I would throw off stuff completely. Like sometimes I'll say I'm not gonna work out today so I can focus on NEET code. Maybe I'm not gonna work on this project so I can focus on NEET code. So I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that. But the math thing, if it works with 1 hour, I can do that easily. But the NEET code, I don't know because I don't think one problem is enough to do a day. I think two problems is like the sweet spot for me. But that's something I'm still exploring. With the other classes, it's pretty much fine. I can't even remember the other classes right now. I have data structures. I have a Calc 2. I have an AI agent class. I'm not going to get class credit for. Actually, remember my other class. I have intro to the school class, and then I have oh my days. This seems really bad because I participate in all my classes. I have a database class. That one is much more I won't say self-explanatory, but it's much more it's just easier in general. I also did the database class in high school, so far it hasn't been challenging. And I have one or two classes that I also can't remember for some reason. But those physics is also easy because I remember I did honors physics in high school and it's mostly the same material. And what's not the same material is like, okay, this is pretty self-explanatory after you get the idea. I think the only thing that's going to be worrisome is I doubt for the exam they're going to give me the formula book like they did in high school. So I think I just have to get more comfortable with the formulas. But besides that, it's been pretty same thing as last semester. The CS class and the math class are going to be my focus. With CS, I still don't have an idea of how to properly implement it. With math, I'm going to try out the 1 hour plan a day to see how that goes. But besides that, I have an idea. What if it's like 1 hour, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? It's not like a weekly, not a daily thing for the whole week, but maybe it's like some days I do it. But we'll see. Besides that, though, I have nothing else to say. So have a great day.